Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot on the Pagan Perspective. This week is a choose your own adventure week for the weekly hosts. So, Cara has given us the task of going through the substitute hosts videos or the topics that the substitute hosts have covered from January until now, and given us the task to pick one of those questions to answer, or even multiple of those questions, and answer them in this week's video because this is celebrating the collab's anniversary. How many years has it been? I'm sure Cara knows, and I'm sure she will tell you. But I can never remember how many years we've been on. What was it? This is 10 years? Going on 11, I think? I don't know. Cara, help. So, anyway, getting into my topic that I have chosen is chosen from July's Subs Week. And the question is, how do you approach the topic of your practice with someone new when dating with children? Okay. With somebody new, as far as being a witch, it depends on the person and how I know them. If it's somebody like one of my vendors in the co-op, several of them know that I have witchy tendencies. They also know that I'm an ordained minister and that I'm not afraid of displaying either of those things. I don't display my witchiness as much as being an ordained minister, but one of my vendors even has me doing her son's wedding in October. So, yeah. And she knows that I have a witchy side to me, and she's completely fine with it. And she also used to be, she was just about to become a nun, but she didn't take her final vows. So she was technically a nun, just not a nun. Yeah. So, and she's completely fine with it. And basically, whenever I told anybody around the co-op, around my store, is whenever it came to a point when they really needed to know something, or needed to know why I was saying something that I was saying. One of them was whenever I was telling one of the vendors, yeah, I'm going to need to put so-and-so in a jar. They're like, what? Because that just sounds like a weird thing to do. Especially picturing somebody that is a larger person in a very small jar is kind of a weird concept for a lot of people. And then I explained to them, no, this lady's going around, she's bad-mouthing us and whatnot, so I'm going to put her in a jar to kind of, put a freeze to these rumors. Yeah, so that's something that needs to happen. And she's like, what? So I explained to her, that I'm a witch and this is something that I can do. I still haven't done it as of this point, but this person is really trying to actively hurt our reputation and whatnot. So it's something that may actually need to happen in the coming weeks or months that she may need to be dealt with. So I don't try to do anything that's malicious, and I don't try to do anything towards other people. So I really take a lot of things into consideration whenever I even think of something like that. So yeah, it's something that I've thought about, and it's something that I need to put together how I'm actually going to do this without harming everybody or anything in a certain way, even if it's just blocking the rumors that she's spouting out to other people. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle it, but it will get handled in one way or another. Or I can just take the legal way. So, whenever telling other people within my own working circle, when telling them, it's usually just in casual conversation that it comes up. whenever I am telling somebody that I'm potentially going out on a date with, and somebody that I'm going out with at this moment, I told them, I said, okay, this is like the second day that we've been talking. And I told him, I sling tarot cards and whatnot, and he was talking about some astrology, just little bits of astrology. And I told him, I said, okay, this is the second day that we've been talking. We haven't even met and gone out yet. So I told him, I said, I'm going to ask you some of the harsh questions, the really difficult questions. And to me, there's a couple difficult questions that if you wish to go out with me, that you need to answer in a certain way, or at least have an explanation to your reasoning behind it. And to me, one of them is politics. What are your political views, and why are your political views in that way? Because if you disagree with me on politics, that's fine, that's one thing. If you disagree with me and you're totally against everything that I'm for, or you're totally for everything that I'm against, we have a problem, and you need to go away. The other one is religion. So if you happen to be a practicing Christian, that's fine. What do you think of me being a Christo-pagan or a witch? What is your thoughts on it? What are your views on it? Is this something that you can spiritually handle on your end? Is that something that is okay for you? Because it's totally okay for me to have you go away every Sunday morning and practice your faith, but if I practice my faith in the same area that you're living in, is that something that you're going to have an issue with? If it is, we have an issue. So those are two of the questions that I pose to somebody that I'm going out with relatively early on in the relationship. So yeah, this is, I think it was even before we went out on a date. It's like, okay, this is something that we need to discuss, because if these are deal breakers for either one of us, we need to go our separate ways and not waste each other's time. So, and with children, I haven't really done anything with children as far as witchiness and all that, so yeah, don't know how to answer that one. I don't really have children in my life. I don't personally have children. A lot of people that I know, especially the ones that I normally work with, they have grown children. A lot of the people I work with are retirees, so they have a lot of grown children. So I really don't see children that often in my day-to-day life, so I really can't answer that one. Every once in a while we have children come into the store, but again, that's not really a time that you need to be telling kids about witchiness. I do try to, whenever a child is there and they show a particular interest in something, I tell them the history of an item, but that's just general education. That's not witchiness. So, I think that's about all that I have to cover this topic. I think we have the next 2 weeks off, and then we come back again in, I think it's early September. I don't have the schedule in front of me. These are my handwritten notes, so I didn't even write down whenever we're coming back. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be back within a couple weeks. As far as us, the regular hosts. So, happy collab birthday. Happy birthday to Cara. This is the only way I can remember your birthday, Cara. And until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.